that is how I sync my video and GoPro together, because I don't have a webcam. So I think for this one we're going to go back to just some nice drum and bass, and I have absolutely no idea what we're going to be making today apart from the fact it's going to be drum and bass. So I'm just going to take you really through the process that I like to follow when I'm making tunes. So I usually do start with the drums, and then I'm probably going to make some bass. I doubt I'm going to make a whole song, to be honest, because I just want to sort of show you guys how I actually structure and start building up a framework for creating more music on top of it. But there'll be a lot of great teachable moments that we can use. So let's start by finding some drum samples. So one of the first things that I like to do is, and this is why Splice is so good, because I know that you know what Splice is, but what it does is it consolidates a huge number of sample packs into a single place, and therefore then allows you to find either individual samples or whole sample packs without having to download the whole thing. So they've really like hit the nail on the head for what producers actually want and what they actually need. And the reason I'm telling you this is because sample packs are created with a particular flavor or idea in mind. So if you find an organic house or a tear out dubstep or a jazz sample pack, all of those samples are going to work really well together because the producer or producers have crafted them to sound good. And the reason I'm telling you that is because, for example, Liquid DnB. Oh, I like that sample. Now I'm going to go into Splice and I'm going to listen to the whole like demo. But the thing is now we've got all of these different samples, either these loops that we can use or, you know, whatever it may be, and they're going to sound good together. Yeah, just make life easy for yourself. So I was a bit of a snob when it came to samples before I started properly getting into Splice, and I used to think that you had to create it all yourself and do this and do that. But the thing is, the end user, the people, if you really want to be a big producer, 95% of them are not going to give a shit about the music production. All they're going to care about is the fact that it sounds good. So if you use a loop or if you use a bass sample or something that you haven't created yourself, the only person who's really going to care about that is you and other snobby producers like I was. So I just stopped caring about that, really. And now I found my music starts to sound really good. So now we've got our samples, and what we're going to do is we're going to load them into a drum rack, and we're just going to make a very simple beat. There's one in there. The reason that I've downloaded, it's like a synth hit, so this, which sounds really nice. We're going to add like a load of process into that. So you don't need loads of samples. What you need to know how to do is how to make them sound good, which hopefully you'll learn today. So I'm just going to start with a 4-bar loop. I'm just going to make these kind of slightly different velocities. This one, we want this to be on, not there, but that first one. But that's because we want a slightly different snare. But we do want something that kind of glues them together, which. So basically the reason I'm doing that is just to add a bit of variation on the snares, so it sounds a little bit varied. So I think we've actually used all these samples now, which is good. So we're going to have like a little sort of rhythm here. Da -da -da. So here, sorry about that, but this is where we're going to add that little kind of shuffle. That sounds awful. But try and think about, like, if you're actually playing it with velocity, what is that actually going to sound like? So, do da da, like, sound like a baby. But like that means that if you want, it will determine how hard it's being hit. So I need you to figure this out. So it's going to get slightly less. So these are going to be lower. So it just sounds a bit more natural. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start layering in some loops beneath it. And now what we want to do is just kind of fill in a bit of these, a bit of this dead area. So here, for example, what does this sound like? So immediately, I don't want these snares. So I'm going to get rid of these guys. And now let's see what it sounds like with our first loop. So it's just adding to that nice sort of shuffle that we've got here. but maybe we don't want that. Let's see what it sounds like reversed actually. Ooh, ooh. Now what's this? I really like that snare. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new channel, and now this is going to be one of our main snares. So we're going to bang that across all there. In the previous video, which I know you've just watched, you'll now know that we've got a snare dual processed reverb. So we're going to put that on there. There's quite a lot of low end in there, so we're going to carve out a bit of that. Okay, like that a lot. So I like that little sort of pop that we've got there, but we don't need any of these now. What we're going to do is just going to fill this space just by control duplicating. So I don't really like the snares in this, so I'm going to get rid of those, but these other sort of little elements I think will add a nice groove. Maybe we could get away with this kind of like nice clicky vibe that we've got going on. Let's try and find another sort of clicky snare, like a tighter snare. Bang, 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 bang. Bang. And now let's duplicate this again and put this second one in. So really guys, all we're doing is we're just finding samples that we like and layering them on top of one another. I know I said in the previous video that like when someone does like a music production, how I made this track, it always looks super complicated. It's really not. You know, as you can see here, we kind of made our main groove with these guys, which we're gonna pull that all apart to like process the sounds individually, because this is really just trying to get a groove at the moment. Right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull these apart individually, and it's a really cool and simple way you can do this. So first of all, the way that I do it is I drag my drum rack to the right hand side in the whatever view this is, I can't remember what it's called, and then you click this little button and you drag it along a little bit more, and then just pull all of these into new audio, or sorry, new devices. And then what you're going to do is you're going to highlight all of them that you've just created, apart from the first one. You're going to highlight all of these, hit Control G, group them, and now what we're going to have is the drum group. We can delete this guy because there's absolutely nothing going on, and now what we've got are these really cool individual channels. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to call these what they are. Why can I not spell today? Is that right? I can't even tell by this point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select hat, group these, and now what we're going to call this is the hat group. And then we're going to go snare, snare, snare. I'm going to grab these. I'm going to call this the snare group. And then we got the perk, which we're just going to chuck in the hat group. So now what we can do is we can actually start to apply effects to all of these together and also individually. So for example, within the hat group, we know that we're not going to want all of this low end. And what I'm going to do is I'm just put a really harsh high cut. And then we're going to use one of these dual processed. Oh, that sounds cool. Snare again, we're going to cut out some of that low end. And what we're also going to want to do actually is put these two other snares in that snare group. Now I want that main snare to like be snapping a bit more. And these sort of snare claps are going to pan this to the right a little bit. That sounded pretty cool. Oh, I've not done anything with the kick. That's surprising. So there is actually one that I've saved myself, which is just EQ kick. No, which is this. And basically, all we've got is shaving off some of the low end, a little peak here, little peak here, little peak here, which is at what we got 8.72, 2.22 thereabouts, and about 109 hertz. Just gives it a little bit more oomph. So now what we want to do, I actually really like the sound of that kind of liquidy style drum and bass, and I really love these labs. This lab soft piano. I think it just sounds amazing. It's got all these like sort of nice little inflections in there as well. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna quickly draw out some MIDI. Right, change my mind. I'm gonna put this over here for now. There is this one loop that I found that I really like, which is this. I kind of like played around with it a little bit just to like change the key and stuff. I think it's just got such a nice sort of like feel to it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to convert the harmony into a new MIDI track, and we're still going to use the keys and stuff that we had before, but we're just going to basically save a bit of time and yeah, cheat basically. So now what we've got is this kind of cool thing which sounds like this. Right, so we're going to delete all the shit that we don't need. I'm going to turn this off and this. So I'm thinking that for this guy, maybe all we need is just just kind of these bits, because we've got that kind of fanciness with the top. So let's just see what this sounds like, and then we get rid of that. What's this? And we're going to shove a Valhalla on here as well. Oh, it needs a bit of like a nice bit of sort of echo on there. Let's get a bit of bass in here. Oh, I'm liking where this is going, guys. So we'll get some vocals in there. See ya, see ya. Don't like those. Oh, I know. What if these are pitched down an octave? What we're going to do, I'm going to duplicate this, and we're going to bang this all the way on the other side, and then group these, because these are going to be the externals. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to process these as individuals, but we're going to put on some different effects. On this one, we're going to give it loads of reverb, and we call this Reverb Vox. Turn these down a bit because they're going to be super loud. And then on this one, we're going to add some echo, probably maybe 8 actually. No. I do think we need as well, like something additional on the top here. So I'm gonna just see if we can find. I know, this is what I've been saving, guys. I said to you earlier at the beginning of the video, there's one sound in here, and we'll maybe in black and white with a sort of grainy effect. There's one in there. The reason that I've downloaded, it's like a synth hit. So this, which sounds really nice. We're gonna add like a load of processing to that. That is going to sound fucking immense. Now, I know it doesn't sound like much at the moment, but through my immense music production skills, it's going to sound really good. So I'm going to create a new MIDI, going to go instruments, and then a sampler. And now we're going to put this on here. It says that it's in C, but I do always like to check. Brown. Cool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this guy, and we got all this nice stuff at the top, which we've not really done anything with yet, but we could try this on glide. Oh, that's going to sound nice. Da, da, da. I think this one here should be like its own note. I want more ad-libs. I don't really want just all of that. Try ad-lib. Right. There we are. Cool. All right, well that's gonna do it for now. Basically, right, so all I wanted to do in this video was give you a framework for direction that this can go. There's a kind of a good foundation here to work with, and this is where you can then start adding in like your own vocals. You can start adding in different instruments and really doing whatever you want. I just wanted to kind of show you my process and sound design as to how I would get to this point, and then from there what we can do to really kind of enhance this song with like risers and you know, transitions and all that kind of thing. So I'm just going to play it through and we'll kind of see what it sounds like. As I say, please do not judge all of my work off of this. Well, I mean, you can if you want. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, I mean, for how long was this? Sort of an hour and 50 minutes. Not so bad. Lovely stuff. So, yeah, I felt I had like quite a lot, not genuinely this time, quite a lot of nice messages, and you know, one of my videos just had a load of views, which I wasn't really expecting. So, kind of quite humbled about that, really. I haven't really done this in a while, so I really do appreciate all of your kind words, and I appreciate sort of the feedback and so on. Of course, if you've liked this video, please do show me that you've liked it by hitting the like button. And yeah, any suggestions that you have, if you want me to build out this song, if there's other genres that you want me to do apart from jump up, because I will not even listen to that genre, do let me know. I'm always looking to sort of, you know, do whatever it is you guys want to do. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely weekend, lovely week, and until next time, thank you. Right there.